So before the break, we asked which of these are barred from joining the BNP. The answer is all three.
Thank you kindly. You're watching The Last Right Stuff of the Week with Steve First, Larry Turner and our special guest Susie Perry, who's going to have the rest of today's headlines for you in just under 10 minutes. But first, hands up for BNP teachers. Let me do that again. Hands up for BNP teachers. Don't forget to email us with your thoughts. rightstuff@5.tv is the address. After looking at ways of stopping racism in schools, a government report has found no reason to ban teachers from membership of extreme right-wing organisations like the BNP. Former Chief Inspectors of Schools, Maurice Smith, reckons the problem of racist teachers is so small, banning BNP membership would be like taking a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Indeed, in the last 6 years, only 15 cases of racist behaviour or membership of a racist organisation amongst teachers has come to light. But the National Association of School Teachers and the Union of Women Teachers says even a single case is one too many, and it believes there's no way you can separate a teacher from his or her views. Now, the law expects teachers of all political persuasions to teach their subjects fairly and without bias, and if they don't, it's up to the head to take action. But can a member of the BNP teach the history of, say, the Second World War fairly when the party's leader refers to the Holocaust as the Holohoax? And even if they do keep their hideous opinions to themselves, isn't there a risk BNP teachers might favour white British boys over black ones, Steve?
Well, fortunately, if you legitimise a party...
and it is a legitimate
party, then you have to abide by rules, and it's also a discretionary. You don't have to declare your kind of voting bias as a teacher, unless they've changed the laws.
Absolutely.
I think it's you know, it's basically it's personal choice. If they want to make their opinions known, if they are racist views, then that's unacceptable and they should not be teaching. But you know, when I was growing up, there were instances where I'm pretty sure. I mean, we had it's extraordinary to think now. We had a history/PE teacher. I'm just remembering this now, that used to segregate the class into whites versus rest of the world, and we'd play death ball. There were no rules. It was just get the ball from one end of the sports hall to the other. Whites versus rest of the world. Unbelievable. Now, that is wholly unacceptable, and even then you're thinking, this is a bit wrong. Now, he was a Labour supporter because he'd always bang on about, you know, he was a proper hardline northerner who would always bang about, you know, the working class credentials and so forth. So, you know, you don't have to be a BNP voter to be a racist in life. And, I mean, I don't think it works the other way, but unfortunately, you know, once again, if you make the rules, then unfortunately that's the way it goes. So
absolutely, and Steve is quite right about them being a legitimate party. The thing I'm thinking, Larry, is did teachers at your school, did their political views come through?
No, they didn't.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely not. And I think that's the first rule of teaching, is that it's about the kids, it's not about you. And I am very nervous of the whole idea of thought police and that you can't hold particular beliefs if you want to do certain jobs. I think if it doesn't impinge on your job, then actually that's personal and that's private. It would be like saying you couldn't be a Muslim and teach children, or you couldn't be a Christian and teach children.
The question over the break was which professions are you not allowed to be a member? So how come, you know, you can be a teacher and a member of the BNP, but you can't be a member of the clergy or a police officer and be a member of the BNP? I mean, it's a legitimate political organisation.
You can't be a member of the BNP if you're a member of the clergy.
No, that was one of their options, and also not a member of the police force.
I just think that if we start saying that you can't be a teacher and be X, Y and Z, it depends where we are in the political eras. Maybe in 10 years' time, we'll all have swung very far to the right, and therefore you wouldn't be allowed to be a member of the Communist Party, for example, and teach children. And I think we can't cross that line, and I do think that somebody's personal beliefs, whether I agree with them or not, they have the right to hold them. Okay. And as long as they're not inflicting on my children, I have no problem with that. Did your teachers give any political views when you were at school?
I don't particularly remember anybody having major political views when I was growing up. I went to a comprehensive school in Wolverhampton. So it wasn't anything.
Do you know Beverly Knight?
I do. I'm very good friends with Bev Knight. She was on yesterday.
Yeah,
we used to.
There's two.
We weren't at the same school. We used to hammer them at netball. I seem to remember. Highfields, I think. Yes, Beverly Knight. I think. Well, she also went to comprehensive school, same as I did. I remember my history teacher, I think, I knew that he was quite left-wing.
Right.
But that's not the same as being racist.
No,
Anybody with a racist view should not be teaching children, but BNP is a legitimate party, and that's where the problem lies, doesn't it, I think?
Yes. You know, although the party's had to change its constitution, it's been legally pressured to do so to make the party open to non-whites. For years, it has been a party that has been open only to white people. Yeah. Which would say, by definition, you know, it was racist, now maybe not. I don't know. It's interesting because I'm asking the question about the teachers because I can remember very clearly a number of my teachers expressing political views, and actually I found it very helpful and beneficial, but I'm not sure if I'd feel the same if it was BNP views that were being espoused. Interesting. I wonder if everybody at home is going to be as right-minded and fair as you are on the panel. Don't forget to email us your thoughts on BNP teachers. Wrightstuff@5.tv is the address. After the break, though, it's Susie with the rest of today's headlines, including how going on the pill, ladies, could save your life, and how a female film buff is sexing up the Lib Dems' election dreams. But would you want to put a cross in her box? Now, there's a question. We'll find out after these ads.
According to today's Sun, who's helping Mark Owen with his drinking problem? Amy Winehouse, Sir Elton John or Robbie Williams? Find out after the ads.